story of what you've accomplished sinks in. You have confronted a god. You have rediscovered the ancient city where the wheel was forged, and you have seen the wheel shattered. What comes next is uncertain, but already the legend spreads of the Watcher, who survived Andra's mortar and stood toe-to-toe with Aethys. On your recommendation, Aethys disperses his essence, and that of the thousands of souls within him, to centers of knowledge and learning around the world. Animancers, engineers, wizards, and scholars of all stripes make astounding breakthroughs in understanding and harnessing the phenomena that govern Aora. Under the leadership of Director Castall, and amply supplied with Ukaizo's luminous Audra, the Valian Trading Company unites animancers from around the world. The advances they make together promise to surpass even the work of the Anguithans. While some of these developments prove beneficial to Kith, others are decidedly less so. But such is the price of innovation. What remains to be seen is how, indeed whether, they will restore the cycle Aethys has broken. At Ukaizo, the Valian Trading Company discovers a cornucopia of Anguithan devices and artifacts, as well as vast reserves of luminous Audra. Under Director Castall's leadership, the company is poised to become not only the foremost authority on animancy, but also the dominant power in Deadfire. The Songretta Mea Compressa quickly approves the construction of an academy at Ukaizo, in addition to several permanent settlements. With the Kahanga monarch reduced to a figurehead, the Huana tribes fragment further. Some profit by working with the Valians, and others find themselves evicted from their old lands. But for many, life continues much as it had before. The Valians' business interests trump their enmity, and they allow most of the Royal Deadfire Company's ships and personnel to remain in the archipelago to trade. Rauatai's legendary cannons pose little threat to them now. After all, the Valians could not want for better leverage than Andra's spire. The storms across the Rauataian mainland subside along with those of Andra's mortar. However, Rauatai regards this respite with a wary eye, ever mindful that the machinery at Andra's spire remains under their foes' control. The influx of Valian business into Deadfire creates an unprecedented opportunity for the Principes and Patrena. Though their dreams of conquest have been squashed, there are more than enough prizes passing through to keep the captains in silk and their crews fed and content. And business is good enough that the Songretta is willing to write off more than a few losses with each transit. The mysterious deaths of Governor Clario and Storm Speaker Ikawa provoke hostilities between the Valian settlers and the Huawan residents. What starts with angry words escalates to retaliatory killings as each side blames the other. By the time anyone bothers to question the strange coincidences surrounding their deaths, including reports of a cloaked Omawi woman seen in both the port and the village, both sides have gone too far to turn back. The conflict eventually draws the attention of the Songretta Mea Compressa. They dispatch a mercenary company to subdue the remaining Huana and select a strict hardliner to replace Clario. Port Mage becomes a cautionary tale for Huana tribes that would consider violence against the Valian Trading Company. As the balance of power changes in Deadfire, so too does Nekataka transform. The Valian Trading Company builds up the port in Queensbirth. The company's expanding presence, however, quickly outgrows the dockside district. Company facilities and personnel spread throughout Nekataka. The Kahanga leadership takes responsibility for the welfare of the Raparu, and the Gullet starts to improve. What was once a den of crime, poverty, and illness slowly becomes a quiet haven for the Raparu. With Skiarilifus's essence still empowering the Water Shapers Guild, the practice of water shaping grows and flourishes in Nekataka, and its practitioners rise in prestige. They install conveyors in the falls that run through the city and craft sculptures for every street and plaza. Thus, the Water Shapers Guild becomes a power in its own right in the city of Nekataka. Your brief encounter with Letharn proves deeply influential for the children of the Dawnstars. Plagued with nightmares and haunted by the deaths at Hesango, Letharn begins questioning his faith in Aethys. At first, his fellow Dawnstars chide him, but that changes as word of Aethys' deeds at Ukaizo spreads. After all, what business have they worshipping a god who denied his own legitimacy? The faith of the children of the Dawnstars fades, but their commitment to the people of Deadfire does not. They continue feeding, healing, and helping the neediest, just as they have for decades. It is no longer a holy mission, but it is a mission all the same. With the Adra of Pokakohara restored, Director Castol establishes a small port at Tikawara. He sends a team of animancers to study the ruins and their machinery. It is a small operation, but one that brings a measure of stability and prosperity to Tikawara and its people. The dragon, Neraskirlas, no longer passes between Aora and the White Void, and the dead flow slowly breaks apart, exposing the temple long frozen within. Under Halfjorn's guidance, the Harbingers of Dusk resettle within Remergon's temple, vowing to forever protect it from the defiling touch of outsiders. Over time, the group becomes increasingly reclusive and fanatical, attacking any who dare approach their holy site. In besting the Beast of Winter, you earned the Death God's mercy rather than his enmity. The deity remains characteristically unforthcoming about his decision, and you're left to wonder whether in doing battle with him in the White Void, you somehow furthered his apocalyptic ambitions. Once repaired, the Adra at the primal island of Kazuwari again pulses with the flow of soul essence between the here and the beyond. The feral life on the island flourishes, the jungles and veld growing ever wilder and resistant to settlement and exploration alike. The faces of the hunt continue to rule the Crucible and Gallowain's, or rather, Tawamawai's name. The trials summoned by the statue grow deadlier with each season, until only those rare few willing to brave the gravest of dangers seek out the bloody ordeals of Kazuwari. Like the other souls following in your wake, Muatu eventually yearns to move on to the beyond and the wheel. Stymied by Aethys' actions, however, he settles on returning to Kazuwari, where he joins the choir of souls that echo throughout the Crucible. Encouraged by her arcane successes, Bakarna returns to her observatory to continue her studies of the celestial spheres. In time, her colleagues in the Circle of Archmagi come to accept her among their number. She takes on apprentices, and they trumpet her praises as both a brilliant innovator and nurturing pedagogue. Slain by your hand, the Titan of Wal poses little further threat to Aora. As the corpse decays, it putrefies into a massive nest of hungry fungal monstrosities. Vessels that anchor off the shores of the Black Isles tend to go missing, only to turn up shipwrecked months or even years later against distant shores. With time, the body collapses upon itself, and the Black Isles finally implode. Seeking a living receptacle for the essence contained within the tomes you unearthed in the halls obscured, Langgrath devotes herself to study of the Godseed. She occasionally contacts you, usually on Dragonback, to solicit your expertise and advice. Her progress with the ancient Angwithan device remains steady, if excruciatingly slow. Though your adventures alter the destiny of Aora and the balance of power in Deadfire, they also leave a lasting mark on those who travel at your side. your companions find themselves changed in ways both big and small. Adair returns to Hisongo, where he reunites with Byrne, the son of his former lover, Alava. The boy takes heart in Adair's account that Aethys and all the other gods were false, petty, and unworthy of the love of Kith. Realizing how close he came to dying for this cause, Byrne finds renewed purpose in working alongside his uncle to repair the many scars left upon Deadfire by the gods. Under Adair's guidance, Byrne grows into the kind of irreverent, stubborn hothead that would have made his mother proud, and Adair visits her gravesite, often to tell her so. Shodi is not a priestess who understands the meaning of subtlety. As such, she makes her girlish crush on Adair painfully obvious from the moment she first sets eyes on the strapping fighter. Early in your travels, Adair appears discomforted by her persistent flirting. He often grimaces when she sidles up to him, and he takes endless pains to keep their conversations terse and to the point. But after a little smoothing on your part to nudge them in the right direction, Adair makes an effort to view Shodi with an open mind. And Shodi begins teasing the veteran fighter in a more companionable and less amorous manner. After saving each other's hides a couple times and sharing more than a few laughs, the two form an easy, and you suspect, lifelong friendship. Seemingly lit with an inner glow, Shodi takes to a new life of mission work with gusto. She still is committed to shepherding souls forgone, but having realigned her goals with that of her fellow Dawn Stars, she now endeavors to help the living as much as the dead. As you travel the Deadfire, you find her sleeping better and laughing more often. When the time comes for her to return to her temple in Neketaka, it's with a clear wistfulness and much lip-biting on her part. She leaves you with her sickle and a hastily scrawled note. It reads, "A keepsake from a path once walked. Remember me, Watcher, for I will forever dream of you." Though the two of you no longer travel together, Shodi holds fast to the memory of you in her heart, remaining your fierce and doting girlfriend, faithful even in her absence. You receive a missive for every day apart, though they often arrive in a single bundle some weeks or months past. In them, she writes of how she misses you, how you are like a fire that burns inside her, how one day surely you will be reunited again. Until then, she prays for your safety as she continues to labor in service to Gon. You let Romaro go, and the former pirate ostensibly set sail for the trade lanes of the Eastern Reach, the Edier Empire, Old Valia, and the Republics. For the remainder of your time together, Seraphon seems, if not exactly happy, at least contented with the outcome of your confrontation with his former mentor at Sayuka. After your encounter with Aethys, the pirate drifts into quiet contemplation. As you sail into your next port, he meets you at the ship's rail. He'll be leaving the gods to you going forward, he tells you, and saving his bullets for those like to die from them. Seraphon parts company with you not long after. Occasionally, in the years that pass, you hear tales of his ship, the Taste of Freedom, and its violent exploits against any and all who would purchase or purvey Kith. For assisting the Watcher in securing Ukaizo for the Valian Trading Company, Pallegina is honored in a ceremony at Biajepe, attended by all 5 of the Duke's bells. Duke Ramasi is so overjoyed by his good fortune that he offers Pallegina a boon. She immediately takes the Duke up on his offer by requesting that the ducal charter of the Fremas Mes Consualias be amended to allow the admission of women. Soberly, the Duke accepts, much to his chagrin. The following spring, the Brotherhood admits its first 5 girl cadets. Following her triumphant return to the Republics, Pallegina is assigned to be the personal guard of the Duchess Sparento. She excels in this role and is favored by the Duchess above all other members of the Brotherhood. She finds time to write to her camerata often, telling you of the great advances in animancy and arts the Republics continue to make at home, in the Deadfire and beyond. Pallegina renews her relationship with Giacomo, corresponding with him regularly, and even meeting with the old animancer once or twice a year. Though she does not understand the intricate details of his research, she reads his letters and responds with great enthusiasm. Her brothers, and even the dukes themselves, note that Pallegina's demeanor is always warmer on the days when she receives a letter. Rumors even spread that some of the brothers have seen her smile. Time away from the Navy gives Maya Rua some perspective on how Rauatai conducted the Deadfire occupation. No sooner does she return to active duty than she voices her frustrations over some of the more underhanded tactics she witnessed and carried out in the name of the homeland. Her voice carries all the way to the Ranganui, who reminds his admirals that battles are won by superior tactics, but war is a battle of precedent, and winning is not always a victory. The people listen. She looks forward to seeing her brother again. So does Ashiza. Takehu distances himself from the problems of the Deadfire, giving the tribes a reprieve from godlike omens. Ngati's silence speaks volumes. The Huana grow to rely on each other, paving a new way forward divorced from their traditions. Soon after his departure from Nekataka, sailors report of mountainous water sculptures rising from the open sea, entrancing and salacious. These works are celebrated everywhere, from the brothel to the palace, though the identity of the artist remains an open question. Your farewell is short and cordial. Nothing further needs to be said, and you wish each other well. Takehu does not look back. The sea feels restless in his absence. Your pursuit of Aethys and your journey to Ukaizo signal the end of forces that have shaped the lives of Kith and the course of nations. The cycle of reincarnation has been broken. The storms of Andra's mortar have calmed. Yet each ending promises a new beginning. As the sun rises over Ukaizo, Kith turn their gaze eastward, wondering at what lies beyond, and at the world they will fashion for themselves. As the Watcher of Cadnua and the former Herald of Bareth, you return to your ship and begin the long journey home. You hope for calm weather.